let's talk about the business of AI. AI is taking over, y'all. It is about to be I Am Legend of it. Not I Am Legend.
I Robot.
I Robot.
It was close.
Listen, boy, during the pandemic was basically like I Am Legend. Like,
Yeah.
and people was like,
If a dog was going to come out there,
right? People was scared of dogs. You can get catch COVID from dogs.
oh, yeah, everything was going on. Zombie apocalypse.
It was the zombie apocalypse.
3.0.
But yeah, let's get into this AI. It's the new wave of things. Like, machines are taking over, rightfully so in some aspects, and not so good in a lot of aspects. Like, so with AI, instead of us utilizing it only in the places where manpower can't reach, we're starting to use AI in places where people should actually have those physical jobs, i.e. McDonald's, or like, for instance, I go to a place, I talked about this in our last episode. I go to a place called Tatsu Ramen, and it's like you order your own, like, nobody actually asks you for your order, but somebody walks it out to you. It's just, things have become so personless, and the prices aren't going down. So what confuses me is the prices are going up and people are doing less work.
Yes.
I don't like it.
I think it's price gouging. You said it on a previous episode, price gouging, and people are very grab the money. Everybody's trying to get rich quick off people.
Mm-hmm.
And for me, I'm all for the AI thing to a certain extent. I think the medical field still needs a little work in terms of that. I would say in terms of being on a plane, that needs a little work. That needs to be flown by a human.
Mm-hmm.
You know, even though the computer still flies the plane most of the time, I still feel comfortable with a human. So there's certain things that needs to be still put in place.
Right.
But when it comes to actuality, in terms of having to deal with somebody with a bad attitude, you would not believe how many times I went to a counter and people got an attitude. They don't act like they don't want to take your order. And I say, you know what? Just eliminate them. Just eliminate all of them. And so now when you go into places like Target and CVS, there's kiosks everywhere, and there's one person.
So it's self-checkout?
Yeah, so it's self-checkout, and it's so much easier. You scan your own stuff. I don't have to worry about, a weird interaction with you and you having some type of way towards me. I don't have to worry about the attitude. I don't have to worry about you asking me for a tip. I think that's disrespectful to ask for a tip when you were hired to be a cashier. I mean, that is ridiculous. And so for me, I'm all for it at the current time. Now, I don't want it to get to the part where the computers are talking to each other and they're telling each other, no, do this and do that. And it can get quite dangerous because, if AI starts to really get there, we have missile defense. We have a lot of the stuff where these computers can say, hey, go ahead and set those bombs off. We don't need these humans right now.
Right.
So it's really creepy.
It's scary. It's really scary. AI is taking over everything. A lot of you have heard about, unless you've been living under a rock, a thing called ChatGPT.
I heard a little bit about it.
Like, that is a game changer in a good way and more so a bad way. But I say a bad way because, like, it literally almost can do anything. Like, anything you ask it to do. Like, for instance, if I wanted to, like, write a song, I could say, write me a song that talks about love in the style of Usher. And it will just, like, it will just compute and it'll do something together. And then you can fine tune it. So, like, you can see what it typed and you can say, oh, I like this, but can you make it like this? Like, it's literally catering to you. It's the wildest thing ever. Like, I remember in school, you had to write your own essays. You could either, like, even if you plagiarize, you had to find it somewhere. Like, you had to dig, scavenge, steal, you
don't have to do that no more.
You don't have to do it. It is right there.
And that's, I'm pretty sure
right there.
It's going to replace people. Like, a lot of places it's going to replace them. And that's what I think is going to get scary because there's not going to be any people with jobs.
Right. Then also, I feel like does everybody feel like AI and the things that make things easy for you are just making you dumber? Do you feel that way?
A little bit. I think we were having this discussion when we was at breakfast about when we used to remember phone numbers.
Phone numbers,
Like
the simplest thing.
yeah, you remember everybody's phone number from back to front. You have it on a piece of paper. If you couldn't remember at the time, they
Right.
memorize it. I don't remember. I think I do know my brother's number. That's the only number I know. Everybody else's is by their name. I'm calling
Same.
Jason.
Number who I know is my brother's number and
Yeah,
my partner. Yeah.
that is it.
Like
Other-
I don't know my mama's number.
I know that one. What?
I do not know.
I know that one.
I do not know my mom's number by heart. That is the craziest thing to me.
Yeah, it's creepy. And so I think they're gonna have to fine tune it, but you have nefarious people that's out here that's like, you know, when you see all the wars and all the stuff going on, people are gonna use that technology and they're gonna do a lot of bad with it.
Yeah.
And I think that's what's gonna happen. So I don't know if it's gonna happen in our time to where things really progress to that state. So I feel bad. I feel a little indifferent for the people in the future, because if you got these computers talking to each other, it could be an iRobot situation. It could be a Terminator situation where they talk about they went into the future and the machines are trying to kill all the people because they got a mind of their own now. They don't need you. They can create their own robots. They can create their own farming. I mean, you can get a robot that can farm everything for you.
Yeah.
Without having to worry about disability and healthcare and complaining, or you don't want to come in. Oh, you don't want to come in? Robot 8576, go ahead and turn him on. They
Right.
don't. You're no longer needed. And I mean, it's just the way it is. But I think people brought this upon themselves because now we're at a time where everybody wants to make all this money but don't want to work. So okay, you don't want to do it. I'll get robot 55 XYZ to do it. I don't need you anymore. You could go collect your last check. It was nice meeting you. So for me, I'm all for it. But you know what, Fred? Well, before we move on to the next topic, how are you? I feel so rude. I just moved on. How are you? I feel bad.
Nobody cares about me.
Oh, sorry.
Okay.
You know, dude, we this is unscripted. Really, we just talk about stuff and stuff that's going on, and we just keep it moving. But how are you doing?
You know, I'm actually great, but there's a lot of people around me that are going through it. Right now, there's a lot of people struggling with mental health, and it's weird because you have some people who have some childhood traumas, which a lot of us do. Like I'm 99.9% of us did not have a perfect childhood. We're human. Our parents were human. Like we went and we experienced things just different than we just experienced them different than our parents did. So there are a lot of people that are just now getting into therapy, learning about their feelings, and I think people are using mental health as a crutch sometimes too. It's like, well, my mental health, I'm just not. Here's the thing. Depression is real. Depression is a real thing. Like what depression will do to your body and mood is a real thing. So I'm not downplaying. I'm not counting people out who truly have this diagnosis, but to weaponize mental health as an excuse as to why you're not being a good person or being genuine to the people around you, that's bullshit. So it's not even just, at this point, it's not even just, a mental health pandemic thing. It's kind of a mental strength thing as well. Because as we grow into adulthood, there's certain things that we experience that make us stronger and able to handle situations in the way that we handle them now. And some people just haven't been put in the coping situations to deal with everyday life the way it is now. and it goes from 0 to I'm having an anxiety attack, I'm having a panic attack. Again, those are real things. Those do happen to people, but there are some people that are literally just using that to skate by and just bullshit, which I'm not here for. But aside from that, I'm good. I am great. I don't have any wants, needs, or desires. Like I'm loved on. Listen, I'm not reaching outside for love. Listen, even though I'm loved on, I love me first before they got here. So I'm good. But like people are going through it. But anyway, I want to get back to this AI situation because it's affecting a lot of things, including streaming. It also kind of plays into the strikes that are happening right now, like with SAG, AFTRA, and like the unions and everything. Things are different now. Now that we have machines automating things, especially like the streaming services, it really almost single-handedly ruined the finances of the entertainment industry, especially singers and songwriters. For example, my friend the producer, he was actually talking about Pharrell, and everybody remembers that song "Happy." It was everywhere. It was in movies. It was on billboards. You couldn't for months on end, you could not turn on the radio and not hear it at least 3 or 4 times, maybe in the same 20, 30 minutes. So to hear that didn't even break 20 or 30K because of streaming services?
That's the reason why Snoop Dogg spoke up about it. He was at a conference, and also the reason why Taylor Swift has been suing a lot of industry executive companies or whatever, is because they used to be, back then you used to get physical copies, and you can produce, hey, they bought this CD. We used to sit outside for hours to buy that one CD. Oh my God, the CD's coming out, because this is when TRL,
I remember,
that stuff was really popular at the time, but you had to sit outside and buy a physical copy, then you play that same songs over and over. Now you got streaming where they say, oh, this is a diamond album. That's why I don't really think, I think Old Town Road would have been a diamond album. I think it would, but I think streaming kind of skewed that a little bit, because I said there's no way. If that thing has 1 billion views, that boy ain't got no hundreds of millions of dollars.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I said, you're seeing a lot of these songwriters, and they're not making the money off of it. Also, you see it with a lot of the strikes going on.
Right.
You got, everything goes straight to streaming now instead of going to the box office.
Right.
So now you can't really see, Fast 10 made, let's say $700 million, which it probably did. You can see that.
Right.
But you can't see it on a streaming service. Oh, 300,000 people watched it. Okay, good for y'all. They're only paying $9.99 a month. So how much did I get from the 300,000? Right. You can't really see it.
Right.
So yeah, AI is starting to be a little bit of a problem when it comes to stuff like that.
Yeah. Because being a SAG-AFTRA person myself, the first thing that I booked to actually give me that status of being SAG-AFTRA was a commercial. And the best part about that was the residual. It wasn't on a streaming service. It was on TV. It wasn't on YouTube. It was on actual TV. So the way things have moved into internet and YouTube, it's almost as if regular TV doesn't even exist. So the residual, the way residuals worked before as to how they are now, it's almost non-sustainable to be an artist, to be an actor, a writer, a singer, a songwriter. These industries are really taking a hit due to the streaming services. So I think we need to figure something out so people are compensated in the correct way, because without the art, like what do we have? What do we have to keep us entertained? What do we have? What do we have? And especially as a dancer, like I started out as a dancer, like there's never really been anything great for us. Like we don't, if we're not in a commercial or on a series television show that is on a major network, residuals didn't happen for us either. Like they would be like, here's a few $100 and you'll just figure it out. And even in music videos, like now, if there's over the past, I'm not sure like when it started, but like there was a time like when dancers didn't even get any type of credit on music videos. Now I think there's some type of royalty situations happening, but I'm not really quite sure. But artists, they don't care about us. They care about us. Us creators, this y'all medical doctor people that just don't act like we don't matter. But it's hot. But yeah, the streaming services is literally flatlining our industry. So that's why everybody's striking. Like nobody can survive. People can't live on these salaries of nothing. So like what are people gonna do? Absolutely not. But let's move on to the next topic.
Well, we'll be back actually. So we'll be back to film the next episode.
Oh, and we'll be back. We're gonna go take a little break. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. If you're enjoying the show, please be sure to like, comment, and subscribe so you can not only be a part of the conversation, but you will also be in the know when we upload new content. Love and light to you all.